Salute YouTube. It's Nocturnal Thoughts, man. I'm gonna hit y'all up with a real quick video. I appreciate you coming to the channel. Hit the notification, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I appreciate you leave me a comment and the thumbs up. So, real quick, what I want to talk about was Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, the trilogy match being canceled. Then I also want to talk about Devin the Dream Haney versus Yuriokis Gamboa. First of all, I'm still trying to put together the entire story between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder because something right now I'm missing some equation because something is not adding up. They're saying that they're saying that Tyson Fury says I'm not waiting any longer for you to come to an agreement of when we need to fight. And we had a contract. First I heard it was a gentleman's agreement for the third fight, but now I'm saying it's a contract and the date we had on the contract has expired. So now I can go and fight Lucas Brown, Big Daddy Brown. And first of all, what I would need to know is what was the expiration date on the contract, because I was hearing that it was in December. Now it's like, what I'm saying, mid-October, and the expiration date is already passed and he can just go ahead and not fight Deontay Wilder. And if that was the case, if the expiration date was in October, I don't understand why Deontay Wilder doesn't just say, okay, let's make the fight then. I know you want the crowd, I know you want to make the same amount of money or even more money based off the first two fights, but if I was Deontay Wilder coming off of that ass whooping right now with the coronavirus and the COVID and the unknown factors of how many people you're going to be able to get, I would dismiss all that. I don't feel like Deontay Wilder has the luxury of waiting to, okay, we're gonna push this fight, we're gonna put a pause on this fight. You go over here and fight Lucas Brown in another tune-up, and then you go fight Anthony Joshua twice, and then I stay over here on the PBC and fight a couple of guys, and then hopefully it all meets back up. Deontay Wilder is 34, 35 years old. If they don't fight now, it's not gonna happen ever, never. You know what I'm saying? It's either now or never. So if Tyson Fury finds a way to get out of this fight, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to blame Deontay Wilder, because Deontay Wilder, after losing the way he lost, after the excuses that we heard of why he lost, after the ability of getting the redemption that I wanted to see him get, not seeing him being able to get that redemption based off of economical reasons, it smells like bullshit to me. Deontay Wilder should be doing anything he has to do to make this fight happen, to get his belts back, and to redeem that loss he took. That's all I got to say about that for right now. Now, if Tyson Fury goes and fights Lucas Brown and he goes and fights Anthony Joshua, I mean, all that's going to do is elevate Tyson Fury on the highest level, or Anthony Joshua on the highest level, and leaving Deontay Wilder down here. Deontay Wilder, what is he going to do? He can still fight Dillian White. I would love to see that fight. He could still fight Andy Ruiz. I would love to see that fight. He could even still fight Usyk, Alexander Usyk. I would love to see that fight. I would love to see Usyk fight Anthony Joshua. I don't know about Usyk versus Tyson Fury. That's different. But anyway, I'm just saying, for you to take that L the way you took that L, the first fight was a draw, and a lot of people don't give you that draw. They say you took an L the first fight and the second fight. For this third fight, whatever complications you had to deal with, they should have been dealt with by now. And I can't figure out, I don't understand what's the hold up on making the date. Besides the coronavirus, Besides the money, I don't see any other reason for you not to do what you have to do to make this fight. Now, Tyson Fury, whether he's afraid to fight Deontay Wilder, and he's trying to wiggle out of that fight and duck out of that fight and go fight a soft touch like a Big Daddy Brown, Lucas Brown. If that's the case, that's the case. I can't even fault Tyson Fury if he's trying to do that. You know, if you got a fish on the hook, the fish is supposed to be trying to get off the hook and swim away. Deontay Wilder is the fisherman in this case. You know what I'm saying? So he's supposed to be reeling that thing on in by any means necessary. That's just the way I look at it. And that's subject to change if I get more information, because to me, I'm just obviously missing some pieces to that puzzle for it to make logical sense to me why that fight's not happening. Another fight that I can't understand that is happening, you know what I'm saying, is Devin Haney, the Dream, versus Yuriorkis Gamboa. Because the whole Gary Russell Jr. versus Devin Haney was this dream fight, and everybody was, you know what I'm saying, everybody was putting so much into it, and for it to just fizzle out, dust into the wind, it all seems like it was a smoke screen. It all seems like it was a bait and switch to bring attention to Devin Haney so he could fight somebody that he already had lined up and planned to fight, which was Yuriorkis Gamboa. And, you know, I don't have anything really negative to say about Bill Haney and Devin Haney. I think the strategy, if that was the strategy, I think that was gangster to you know what I'm saying, as a boxing as a boxing promoter, the youngest boxing promoter, the youngest boxing champ, you know what I'm saying, for him to play that chess move, to me, I have to tip my hat and say that was a good move right there. But to fight Yuriorkis Gamboa, I mean, to me, if Yuriorkis Gamboa was a racehorse, they would have took him out and shot him in the head and laid him out to pasture after he blew out his leg, blew out his Achilles heel on, you know, Gervonta Tank Davis. And there was nothing in the Gervonta Tank Davis fight. To me, Yuriorkis Gamboa, beating up Yuriorkis Gamboa is not going to do much for the young Devin Haney's next move. You know what I'm saying? He is going to have a decent name on his resume, but at the same time, you can cross compare his fight between him and Gervonta Tank Davis. That's the only thing it's good for, and that's not even good for much, because even when Yuriorkis fought Gamboa, Yuriorkis Gamboa fought Gervonta Tank Davis. Even then, at that time, nobody was really giving Yuriorkis Gamboa. At that time, we was like, this is the fight that we was barely accepting. The only reason why we let that fight go is because of the optics. You know what I'm saying? It's always cool to see two little, short, muscle-bound guys with some power go at it. You know what I'm saying? It's because they just had the same stature, they had the same physique. It just looked good. You know what I'm saying? The face-off looks good. But we all knew that Gervonta Tank Davis was going to KO Yuriorkis Gamboa. We just didn't think it would take him 12 rounds. Most of us thought he would have knocked him out of there in 4 or 5 rounds. You know what I'm saying? But in the second round, he was already a beat man. He was a beat man in the second round. And then what happened was Gervonta Tank Davis did that whole rabbit race against the turtle. He lapped the turtle a couple of times. By the second round, he had already lapped him, and then he took a nap. Gervonta Tank Davis was asleep behind the wheel up until like the 11th round, where Yuriorkis Gamboa finally tapped him on his chin a couple of times and woke him up. And then Gervonta Tank Davis said, okay, let me put this dude away. You know, Gervonta Tank Davis was out of shape. He was gassed out. He was, Gervonta Tank Davis didn't even look good for that fight. So you didn't even get a 100% Gervonta Tank Davis. You got like a 65% version of Gervonta Tank Davis that busted up Achilles that knocked him down and that knocked him out. What do we need to see Yuriorkis Gamboa fight against Devin Haney for? Who's a gym rat, who we know is going to come in shape, who we know is going to be laser focused, and he's not going to fall asleep behind the wheel. He's just going to come in there and put on a full display of every single tool that he's been sharpening and pull them all out the bag. And then we're going to see Yuriorkis Gamboa what? After that, then he's going to, you know, look, man, it is what it is. You know, props to Devin Haney. It was a good strategy. But you say, who should he be fighting when you got Ryan Garcia fighting Luke Campbell, which is, man, it's a good fight. It's a good fight. But he should win that fight, especially if he tucks that chin. If Ryan Garcia tucks that chin and he doesn't get caught on the chin, he should win that fight against Luke Campbell. You got Lopez fighting Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who Shakur Stevenson is fighting right now, but you got Devin Haney, the Dream, who is the champion, fighting Yuriorkis Gamboa. I feel like who he should be fighting right now, and what makes sense to me, and what would have really put his name up there at the cream of the crop, would be Gary Russell Jr. That's all I'm saying, period, point blank. This is Nocturnal Thoughts, man. That's just my thoughts. Y'all let me know what y'all logic is. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know what y'all thoughts is on Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. Should Deontay Wilder be just already looking to fight like an Andy Ruiz or who was that? Dillian White? Or should he be trying to fight the winner between the loser? Should he be trying to fight the loser between Chisora and Usyk? What should Wilder's next move be? What do you think about Lucas Brown versus Tyson Fury? Tell me what you think about Devin the Dream Haney fighting Yuriorkis Gamboa. Is that fight worth it at this time in his career? Let me know what y'all think. I'm out. Salute. Peace.